Good morning. I have got me some ice here and I'm going to make some lemon water. Um, this is one of the ways I like to stay hydrated and refreshed during the summer. I know it's not quite summer yet. We still got a little ways to go before it's officially summer, but it's already hot, and once it reaches those hot temperatures, to me, it's already summer. So, just gonna put some lemon in here, fill it up with water, and that is going to be refreshing. I try to drink 2 of these a day, and this is 48 ounces, and I drink 2 of them during the summer to stay hydrated. And then that's one of the things I do. And another thing I do to stay cool is I put my lotion in the refrigerator. By keeping your lotion in the refrigerator, it really cools you down. And it doesn't get hard or anything like that. I've been doing it for years and years and years. And I keep it, make sure you keep your lotion upside down so that way you get every last bit of that lotion. Another thing I did was I changed my background. So the Arrow Garden is on a different shelf, and I went ahead and cleaned it all out. It needed to be cleaned out. So I have my turtle here. And this was handcrafted in a different country. My friend and her husband travel every summer. They're teachers, and they that's what they do. And she always brings me something back, a magnet, or one year she brought me this turtle. Isn't that pretty? And then this we got when we went to Port Aransas a long time ago. I lately don't buy souvenirs and stuff. I haven't done that in years. But we like to go to Port Aransas, especially in the fall time. During the summer we don't because it's too hot. But during the fall when it gets cooler, those cooler temperatures, man, the fishing is really good and it's not really hot. We also got this from Port Aransas. Now, when you go into Port Aransas, there used to be these 3 statues of these guys here. And when they had the hurricane, it damaged them. So I'm glad I got this. Oh man. There was one that had a pipe in his mouth. If you've been to Port Aransas, you know what I'm talking about. Port Aransas, Texas. And then I just have a plant here and my bulb, my flower bulb there. So I need to put this back in the refrigerator. So just a quick little story. Yesterday, which was Tuesday, when my husband got home and my son from work, they got home early. And when they get home, my son goes and my husband did it actually. He went and turned on the AC unit that's in my son's room because it gets turned off when my son's at work. And when he turned it on, it was making this weird rattling sound. And then he was like, "Do you hear that?" And he went out to check the unit on the outside. And then he came in to do something, and I was in the room sitting on my son's bed because his room is like the coolest room in the house with that unit for the size of his room. And so all of a sudden, I just heard this loud bang, and it made me jump. I was like, "Ah!" Right? Just like, oh my God. Well, we shut the AC unit off, and what ended up happening was the blade broke, one of the blades in the unit. This is the second time that the blade has broken. and we're not replacing it right now. The unit is old. It has been here. It's older than my son. We've been in this house for over, well, 20 years. It'll be 21 years coming up in August that we've been in this house, but that unit was there years before we were even here. So it's an old unit. So I told my husband, well, we can either replace it again, or because it's so old, we can replace it with a smaller unit, because they have them at Home Depot for like $700, and just get a new one and see, you know, maybe this one will last a long time where we don't have to replace anything. I just find that if it's something that's old and it just keeps breaking in a short amount of time, it's worth it to just get another unit, in my opinion. So right now, we don't have the money for it, but because I told my husband, I am not putting anything on credit anymore. I'm not paying interest. I don't want to put nothing on credit. I refuse. So we have to save the cash up little by little to put a unit in his room. So in the meantime, I told my son, I was like, if it gets too hot, because he has a fan, and it hasn't been too bad in there, but I said, if it gets too bad, I said, you can sleep out in the living room, because our couch that we have, we got it from IKEA, and it folds out into a huge bed. So it's not a big deal. But he goes in there and he plays his games and stuff, and he runs the fan, and he's used to the heat because he works outside. But anyways, that's what happened. So I need to do some cleaning today. I do need to clean the top of the refrigerator, so I need to do that. And I need to dust the shelves again. And then we're supposed to get some rain this whole week. So we're supposed to get 20% today, and then this weekend coming up, like Saturday and Sunday, we're supposed to have like 90% chance of rain. So go figure, you know? Anyways, I'm kind of getting hungry too. I don't know what I'm going to eat for breakfast yet. I'm kind of hungry, but I'm not really hungry. I'm not starving or anything. I can probably go a couple of more hours before I eat. So y'all hang out with me. Let's clean the refrigerator. I need to clean the outside and the top. If it rains this weekend, then I'm going to pull the refrigerator out this weekend, because I like to clean behind the refrigerator like every couple of months, because it does get dusty back there, guys, and you have to make sure that you're cleaning your corals of your refrigerator, making sure they're not getting dusty, because if you know, it could ruin your refrigerator if you don't. So that's what I need to do this weekend. But for now, I need to clean the top. So to dust the top of the refrigerator, I'm just using Dawn soap and water. I ran out of vinegar, so this will do the trick. Oh my gosh, it is so dusty up here, y'all. So dusty. Look at this. It's so funny how things can get dirty so quick. What is this up here? Oh, that's to the ice maker, to the refrigerator. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. If y'all haven't dusted on top of your refrigerators in a while, go ahead and dust them with me. We'll clean together. Sometimes we forget about the details and stuff like this. It's not my favorite job, guys, but it has to be done. And I'm too short to reach the back part. So sometimes I need to get my sifter to help me reach the back. Or just open this. There we go. Look how pretty these sunflowers are. I'm gonna cut one or two of them because I want to put them inside my house. Aren't they pretty? Look how pretty that is. And I know some of you are gonna be like, let them grow. And I'm like, but it makes the house colorful. Just two of them. Very, very pretty. Hi, JD. So my husband ended up grilling a chicken and there was some left over that I didn't eat. So that's what I'm going to have for my meal. 3 pieces in here. I usually save, I don't eat, like, that skin is actually pretty good, guys. When I make my plates, it's so funny. I don't usually finish it. I'll eat half of it and then I'll save it for the next day or another meal. So I'm gonna heat this up and then we still have some salad. So I'm gonna eat on this salad. There's not that much left in here and it has to get eaten, so it's been in there. So that's what I'm going to eat for my meal. I'm gonna heat this up. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit from this daily devotion book. I've actually really been enjoying this book, and then once I'm done with it, I will be donating it. So it says, I see a different law in the parts of my body waging war against the law of my mind. Romans 7:23. God will not release us from anything that has enslaved us until we've come to the mind of Christ in the matter. Take the bondage of unforgiveness, for example. When we want to be free from the burden of not forgiving, we want God simply to take that person out of our minds. We want him to wave a magic wand so we'll never have to think about that person again. That's not how God works. He wants to transform and renew our minds so we can think the thoughts of Christ about the person we are supposed to forgive. Now, I'm guilty of this because I have stayed mad at a lot of people for a very long time. Now, even though I forgive them and I have forgiven them, it doesn't mean that we have to bring them back into our lives. It doesn't mean we have to be their best friend. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means, hey, I forgive you. I've moved on. Nothing bad's going to come out of my mouth about people ever again. I just have to allow myself to move on from certain situations and think Christ-like. I know some of y'all are going to say, well, that's not Christ-like if you don't have them in your lives. But these are people, not everyone's meant to be in our lives. Not everybody, some people are meant to be in our lives for a short period of time, some for a long period of time. But I do forgive everybody in my life. But at the same time, I am at the point, because of everything that's happened with my family, that I've created my own little happy bubble. I just want to be in my space. I just want to clean my house and have positive thoughts, and that's it. And I know some of you can relate. There's a lot of people out there who have been hurt really bad, that we have trust issues, that, we've been through so much that it's kind of like, I'll just stay in my world. And I know some people will say, well, that's not good, because not everyone's not, there's always two sides. There's the sides that will say, yes, I've been hurt. I love to stay in my own bubble. I'm happy in my own space. And then there's those that say, well, not everyone's bad and not everyone's out to get you, and you still got to keep putting, your faith out there and your trust out there. But how many times do we have to get hurt just to find the one person out of 5,000? Right now, I'm in my own space. Right now, I'm content. Right now, I'm okay. Going through my healing process, and just, I'm having fun. I'm having a relaxing time. There's things that, I do a lot of research and stuff, and to keep my mind busy. I clean a lot. I cook. I read. I draw. I color. I do diamond paintings. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm not saying that in the future I don't want any friends, because I love people. I really do. I'm curious about all of you. I'm curious about what you're doing. I mean, that's why I'm on YouTube. I'm nosy. I want to see what you're doing, what you're up to, how are you. So yeah. All right, I love you guys, and who knows what else this day is going to bring. But I hope that wherever you're at, that you are finding peace in your life, that whatever you may go through, just know that with God on your side, just forgive everybody. Forgive. Now I forgive, just let it go, and don't forget to live, laugh, and love, and I'll see you on the next one.